the stand. Now he runs. He produces a magic print. He pulls out another one. This is incredible. This is ridiculous. This is 15 out of 10 on the incredible meter. What a player. What an entertainer. Give him the medal. Give him the Dally M medal.
Hello, footy fans, and welcome back to the Chip and Chase podcast. We're here for our Monday review, going over everything that was for round 6 of the NRL Telstra Premiership season. And as we know, we've started a little thing here. We're going to kick things off by getting into our team of the week. Now, this is a little bit of a segue as we've sort of started doing these posts over on our Instagram. So we've worked up a bit of a graphic for that one. So if you want to see that and you want to see the effort I've put into that, head over to the Instagram. But if you're coming from the Instagram and you just want to see why or how I've selected all these players, we'll get straight into that. So in our fullback position for round 6 team of the week, we have Joseph Manu. Now, he did break the record, and again, we're going to sort of go through a bit more in depth of all these players when we get to the actual reviews of the games. But I did want to say that, yeah, Manu, I believe he did break the record, and then the NRL revamped their stats, and they figured out that he actually dropped back down to a measly 347 meters or something. Or maybe just 340, regardless. So he didn't end up breaking the record after the revamped stats, but still a fantastic game. Getting over 300 run meters is honestly just stupendous. And I think we had 4 or 5 players this week get over that 300 meter mark, which is just absolutely ridiculous. To have 3 or 4 in a season is just something out of this world. And to have it in one round, yeah, ridiculous. But Joseph Manu for the Roosters in their game over the Knights, I thought he was excellent. Seemingly every second, like, you just look at the screen and he's taking another hit up and he's making fantastic meters. And yeah, we'll get into a few more of his stats, but he beat out the likes of Chance Nickel-Klukstad, another one of those players who ran over 300 meters in round 6. Beyond that, Ryan Papenhuyzen had a good game. There were a few fullback positions. Reece Walsh was good in his return from injury. Kalen Ponga for the Knights as well. But I think nobody's going to be doubting that Joseph Manu deserved this position at fullback. So we'll move into our wingers first. We'll start with Josh Adokar for the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Scored a hat-trick over on the left wing on his return for injury. Had something like 6 or 7 line breaks, like ridiculous numbers over there. So I think it was a clear choice. Just tortured the Melbourne Storm on that left edge all game. He really, Nick Meaney and I think it's Will Rawbrick on that side. Yeah, they struggled to contain Josh Adokar. And yeah, he gets one of the wing positions for my round 6 team of the week. The other, we've put this one up on a poll. I'm sure if some of you would have seen if you're following the Instagram. If you're not, by the way, head over there. That is at Chip and Chase Podcast on Instagram. Do a lot more content there. And on a week like this, I've put a few out there. There's a few positions I couldn't really decide on, like really hotly contested toss of the coin job. So I put it out to you guys. I put a couple polls up on the story and let you guys pick these ones. And one of those winners was Ronaldo Mulitalo in the wing position. I had him or Daniel Tupou, and Ronaldo, he received more votes, and he gets my other wing position this week. Fantastic game from him. He's having a fantastic season, is Ronaldo. He's one of the best wingers in our comp. He still flies under the radar, in my opinion. But yeah, he gets a position in the team of the week this round. Moving into our centres, we have Bradman Best from the Newcastle Knights. Now, obviously, the Knights didn't come away with the chockies in this one, but Bradman Best had a fantastic game. He notched just a tick under 300 metres himself and scored a try. Just fantastic stuff from Bradman Best. Looks like he could be a bloody shoe-in for the New South Wales team this year. Just having a fantastic season in a year that Newcastle aren't going that well. So Bradman Best, he's in the centres. Joining him, this is another position that I put up to you guys. The options were Bronson Xerri or Selwyn Cobbo. And Selwyn Cobbo got the chockies. You guys voted for Selwyn to make my team of the week. Unlucky for Xerri to miss out, but we'll give him his dues when we get to that team review, to that game review, I should say. But Selwyn Cobbo, fantastic game for the Brisbane Broncos. He makes his way into the side at centre, scored a double, and yeah, we'll get into his stats a bit more later, but shout out Selwyn Cobbo. Moving into the halves, 5/8, a tough one. I probably should have put this one to a vote as well, put this one to a poll for you guys to decide on. But I went with Ethan Strange. Just the efforts that he came up with to win that game for the Raiders, just fantastic for someone in his first season in NRL to be doing that sort of stuff. It's unheard of, to be honest. And even before that effort for the Raiders to win the game, I thought he was just excellent for the Raiders, just bopping up everywhere. So Ethan Strange, he gets the 5/8 jersey. Another hotly contested one here. As I said, this round was the hardest round I've ever had to pick from since I started this season, guys. Since I started this series. I've gone with Shaun Johnson as my halfback. Now, last week I gave Daly Cherry Evans the nod over Shaun Johnson, despite the fact I thought Shaun Johnson had a better individual game. I thought just the occasion of what Cherry Evans did for the Seagulls in the game and the meaning of that game and against the defending premiers, I thought that's why I gave Cherry Evans a nod. This week it's a similar thing, but flipping it back for Johnson. Of course, Johnson and Cherry Evans matched up against each other in this one, and they both played fantastic games. If you want to look at the stats department, you could argue that Cherry Evans might have had a better game. He scored an extra try, but Johnson, the way he scored his try, the way he set up, and just the way that the Warriors came back into this game, it was all essentially on the back of Shaun Johnson. If he iced this game with a field goal, it would have been the difference. You could even argue, he had a few areas in there, which we'll get to. But yeah, I've gone with Shaun Johnson just for the occasion. They were down 16-0, and for the Warriors to make that comeback on the back of him, that's why he gets the halfback position in my team of the week this week. So we move into the forward pack. We've gone with Mitch Barnett to start. Now, you could argue Adam Fanua-Blake. You could argue a lot of front rowers this round. There was some exceptional performers this round. Tom Burgess, I thought for the Rabbitohs, was exceptional. I had him penciled in realistically, and I'm like, look, I probably can't. They didn't get the win. There were some other fantastic performers, but Tom Burgess, shout out to him. He was fantastic. I've gone with Mitch Barnett. He's playing fantastic footy. Of course, this game went all the way to 90 minutes long. So increased minutes for players like Mitch Barnett, but he ran well. Once again, his defensive efforts really just held the Warriors in this game. I thought he was the best player on the field, to be honest. You could have gone Adam Fanua-Blake, but I think Mitch Barnett on both sides of the park was a little bit better, and he gets into the side. Joining him is Joseph Tarpany for the Canberra Raiders. Another game that essentially went all the way to the 90th minute before they win. This one, of course, didn't end in a draw, but Joseph Tarpany, fantastic. Another one of those players who ran for 300 metres this round. And yeah, did it as a front row forward, which I could not recall any front rowers doing 300 metres since maybe like Steve Price. I know Jason Taumalolo did it a few years ago against the Bulldogs, but that was as a lock forward. Yeah, it's not too many front rowers who do it because you need to have an engine. You need to be able to play those long minutes to do it. And Joseph Tarpany, he did just that. Fantastic game. He was definitely the best front row of the round. So shout out Joseph Tarpany. In the hooker position, quite difficult to choose from. I was very close to going players like Jacob Little or Brandon Smith. I ended up going with Blake Brayley for the Cronulla Sharks. Thought he was terrific for them. Scored a try late as well, so a bit of icing on the cake for him. But Blake Brayley, yeah, fantastic game in round 6. Had to get my hooker position into the second row. This was the last position that I put it up to you guys for a poll to decide. The options for this one were Angus Crichton up against Jaden Sewer, and you voted Angus Crichton to get the second row position in this one. So he's my first second rower in my team of the week. Thought he was exceptional for the Roosters. Played the full 80 minutes. I think he looks back to his best, and I assume he will be keeping that 80-minute back row position for the foreseeable future. Unless there's an absolute shocker that he has in there, I don't see him losing that position. So fantastic to see that from Crichton. I'm sure we all want him back to his best, and yeah, he certainly was that in this game. The other second rower, I gave Kai Pearce-Paul his dues in the exact same game as Angus Crichton. Obviously, Newcastle didn't get the win, so unfortunate for Pearce-Paul and unfortunate for Newcastle, but his efforts were exceptional. We'll get to it a bit more, as I said, in the review, which isn't far away. That's the first game of the round, of course, but I thought in defence in particular, he was just extraordinary. So he got the other second row position over the likes of, as I said, Jaden Sewer. Homale Olakawatu was exceptional as well. Even Hudson Young, I thought, was really good. But we'll move into our lock position, and it had to be Victor Radley. Very close was Pat Carrigan, but Victor Radley, 240-odd metres, scored a try. Just everything he's doing this year is the best I've ever seen him play. He's found that perfect mixture of how to play that lock forward role and his aggression and it's everything. Victor Radley this season is just something else. So shout out Victor Radley, lock forward in my team of the week. So moving into our bench players, once again, how we choose these is we go the best back who didn't quite make the starting 13, the best spine player who didn't make the starting 13, the best forward who didn't make the starting 13, and the best bench player of the round. So number 14, this is our best back who didn't make the team, Daniel Tupou. Obviously, you guys voted Ronaldo Mulitalo. You chose him in ahead of Toops, but I think Tupou played that well that he had to get his name into this team, and that's why he's on the bench as our best back. Number 15, Chance Nickel-Klukstad. He gets our best spine player from the round who didn't quite make the team. Could have been Daly Cherry-Evans, could have even been someone like Cameron Munster, but I think, Chance, another effort, touching over 300 metres. He just has to make that side. In our best forward position, now there were a lot of fantastic options here. I thought the Manly forwards were exceptional, especially Jake Trbojevic. I thought he had his best game of the season. I thought Adam Fanua-Blake was very close, but I thought Patrick Carrigan for the Brisbane Broncos, he's just doing some extraordinary stuff at the moment. He gets in once again. I think that's his third or fourth time he's made my team of the week, whether it be on the bench or starting. So shout out Patrick Carrigan. And lastly, my best bench player of the round had to go to David Fifita. Was named to start, didn't end up starting, missed the first 20 minutes of the game time and then was brought in after 20 minutes off the bench and just played exceptional. Another game that went right to the wire. David Fifita, he's my best bench player of the round. Once again, if you guys want to see the graphic that I've designed for this, head over to the Instagram. And you can, comment on this. Let me know who you think should have made it, who you think was unlucky to miss out. Just interact with that. But that's over at the Instagram, at Chip and Chase Podcast. But that'll do us for our team of the week. So we'll get right into the team review for round 6, starting with the Newcastle Knights going down to the Sydney Roosters 20-22. So we will start with the Knights in this one. But honestly, I think it was just a fantastic game of footy, and we've been really blessed. I say every single review, and it's like I don't even notice it, but honestly, every review I start by going, what a fantastic game to start the round. We haven't been let down. I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent right now, and let's just go back, and I want to see every first game of the round so far. So we had Seagulls, Rabbitohs in Vegas, fantastic game. We had Broncos, Rabbitohs in round 2, which was great. Panthers Broncos in round 3 as our first game. We then had Panthers Roosters in round 4, Storm Broncos in round 5, and now Knights Roosters in round 6. And we've been really blessed with our opening games of the round, and this was no different. Just fantastic. It was really just, back and forth sort of set for set sort of stuff. The referee I thought was really good. They really didn't blow many penalties in this one. Really just let the game flow and let the clubs get a feel for the grit and grind and the fatigue. So really enjoyed watching this one. This one was in Newcastle. Really wish I was able to attend this one, to be honest, but not the case. But the Roosters, they came away with the victors in this one. In terms of some standouts, as I said, we'll start with the Newcastle Knights. I thought Jayden Brailey, he worked really, really hard. He's warming into this role really, really well. Obviously, missed essentially like 3 of the last 4 seasons, something like that, through injury. And I think the Knights, since he's been back starting for them, have looked a just completely better football side. They obviously didn't get the win in this one, which is very unfortunate. I thought they worked their way back in this game really well. Not to say that the Roosters didn't deserve it. They definitely did. But Knights, I thought they were really good. They were really spirited. They fought right to the end. I'm hoping that their fans won't be too disappointed in the result, or at least in how, maybe disappointed in the result, sure, but don't be disappointed in the way your team played. But Jayden Brailey, as I said, fantastic game from him. Didn't quite play the full 80, but considering how much he's come back from injury, how recent he's come back from injury, to be playing 71 minutes, I think he did in this game. Fantastic stuff from him. Made over 40 tackles. Was really smart around the ruck. Just Yeah, fantastic. I gave him a big rap last week just for his recognition and his ruck recognition, but this week it was just effort on effort. It was always getting out there for the tackle, always chasing back, just what you want from. I don't think he's their captain anymore, but he's essentially a captain figure. He's a leader in that club, and he was doing just that in this one. Obviously, we have to talk about Bradman Best, who we included in our team of the week. Just exceptional. Scored that try. Just untouchable all night. He took 20 runs, which was the most of any player in the Knights team. 274 metres from 20 runs. 107 post-contact. 1 line break. Only 2 tackle breaks as well. Isn't that crazy? And yeah, as I said, obviously scored that try. Just exceptional. Every time I watch Bradman Best, I just think of Josh Morris, and Josh is one of my probably top 5. The Morris twins in general are probably equal second favourite players of all time. They're right up there. I think Josh is one of the most underrated centres we've ever seen, and seeing Bradman Best, very similar moulds, the way that they play. Really liking what I see from Bradman Best. Fantastic game from him. You got to shout that out. And yeah, as we said, he makes it into my team of the week for this week. Beyond that, Kalen Ponga, once again, exceptional. He injured himself, I believe it was in cover defense, trying to make a try-saving tackle on Daniel Tupou, and then played essentially like the next 20 minutes of the first half injured, could hardly move. Then they needled him up at halftime, and he came back out in the second half. Just ridiculous, to be honest. He's an absolute freak. I remember bursting out just in laughter. Had a bloody laughing fit when he made the a kick return and just beat the entire Roosters team essentially on one leg. Like, he's an actual freak. It's so stupid for someone who looked gone, looked shot with that injury, and then makes that line break and just beats the entire Roosters team injured. It's just so stupid. But yeah, fantastic game from Kalen Ponga. Once again, I think if the Knights are to win much this year, it's going to be all off the back of him. Obviously, they're not winning as much as they were at the end of last year, but Kalen Ponga, I'd argue he looks better. Like, just his involvements in the game. He's not having those insane highlight reel plays just yet, but his involvements in the way he's playing, it's just exceptional. So Kalen Ponga, I thought he was fantastic. Kai Piss-Paul, once again, as we said in our team of the week, fantastic. He probably his like exploding game in the NRL, really stamping his authority on the league. He's been good. I think he made my team of the week on the bench a few weeks ago. But in this one, it was really his breakout moment in the NRL. As I said, he had those sort of explosive runs. He made that great line break, which led to a try, but it was his defensive efforts that really, really stood out to me. There was multiple times he just made incredible like hits right on the board. Just as soon as they came into contact, they're stopped dead still, and he dislodged balls. They were real try savers, real game momentum changers. And yeah, I think that was what really stood out to me for Kai Piss-Paul. But yeah, his best game of the season for sure, and that's why he made my team of the week. Beyond that, for the Knights, I thought Matt Croker, I thought he was really good off the bench, brought a lot of energy. Only played 17 minutes, did Matt Croker, and had 7 runs for 95 metres. Thought he was really, really good. Good to see Greg Marju make his return. He ran for his usual 218 metres because he's a freak. Jacob Saifiti, thought he was really good in this one. I thought, obviously the Knights forwards this season haven't really stood up. Last week they were quite good, and then this week it's obviously something that has been brought to their attention, because I thought Jacob Saifiti, he was a man on a mission in this game, just especially in that first stint. Running very, very hard, playing like he had something to prove, which he essentially does. 13 runs, 139 metres. He was really good. Leo Thompson, I thought, was good as well. But yeah, that's sort of all the main standouts for me for the Knights. But just, yeah, a really good overall performance. I don't think there was anyone on their team that had necessarily had a bad game. Thought everyone played their hearts out, and yeah, very unlucky to not get the win in this one. But sometimes that's just rugby league. In terms of the Sydney Roosters, let's start with their number one, Joseph Manu. Just an absolute freak. I don't know what else you're meant to say realistically. It's ridiculous what he's doing. I remember watching, and I don't think, I'm sure there would have been one or two, but just from watching neutrally, I suppose, I'm pretty sure he fielded like every single kick on the full, and there was never really a catch it and field it to, pass it over to Daniel Tupou. It was catch it and run it every single time. His positional play was exceptional for someone who's essentially a, fullback's his second position. It's not where he plays. His awareness is just phenomenal. And of course, his efforts, like 330 runs, 347 meters, 116 were kick return meters, 136 were post contact meters. 2 line break assists, a try assist, 11 tackle breaks. Like, there's a reason he made my team of the week. He is exceptional. If he is to leave us at the end of the year and head over to rugby union, we're truly going to be missing a player. I thought the Dragons should have thrown their entire salary cap at Joseph Manu to get him to play fullback. But by the sounds of it, Joseph Manu doesn't want to play for any other NRL club. If he is to not play for the Roosters, he's not going to be playing rugby league. So, yeah, unfortunate if we do lose him. But, yeah, in terms of this game, he was just exceptional. Moving on to Daniel Tupou. As I said, he made my team of the week on the bench because of your guys' votes for Ronaldo Mulitalo. But, yeah, fantastic game from him. 2 tries, 22 runs, 237 metres, 101 of those being post-contact. Just ridiculous. He had 3 line breaks, 3 tackle breaks. And I thought, honestly, his defensive work in this game was really, really good too. I remember mid-game, I was like, what, how old is Daniel Tupou? Because thought he was like maybe, 30, maybe, I know he's been around for a long, long time, Daniel Tupou. I'm like, he couldn't be any older than 30 the way he's playing. He's 32, about to be 33, and he's doing this stuff. 227 metres? 237 metres. Let's one up myself. Just fantastic stuff. I hope he keep playing for another couple of years. He could play till he's 40 with how he's going, Daniel Tupou. He could break every record under the sun. But yeah, just fantastic work from Tupes. Thought Suaalii was also fantastic in his effort from the back. I think that's what set the Roosters apart from the Knights. The Knights, they were well and truly in this and they tried their hearts out, but they could not contain the back three. Technically, I'm not sure if it was technically a back three because Ponga, as in Junior Ponga for the Roosters, might have been the winger and Suaalii was in the centres, but Suaalii did the majority of the work from the back as well. But yeah, 228 metres from Suaalii, 237 from Tupou, and 347 from Joseph Manu. Just ridiculous stuff. It's, I don't know how you're meant to contain a team when they're back three doing that much work. And as I said, the best part about your teams, your back threes doing this work is it just means that your forward pack, they're refreshed and ready to go. So really good stuff from the back three of the Roosters. In speaking of Junior Ponga, I thought he was really, really good as well. I've always loved Junior Ponga, so really good to see him get another shot in the NRL and thought he was fantastic. Connor Watson, I thought he was everywhere on the field, just very active, always pushing up and support. Looked like he just wanted to be playing that 5/8 position, have that role in the halves. I doubt he'll, keep it obviously with the options they have. But yeah, thought he was really good in that position. 14 runs, 142 metres from your 5/8 is a fantastic knock. Luke Keary controlled the side, really got them around the park. He was fantastic. Brandon Smith, as I said in our hooker chat, very close to making my team of the week. He was fantastic. But, just their team in general. Oh, Angus Crichton, let's get into him. Look, as I said, he's back to his best. This is ridiculous how he's playing right now. 16 runs, 187 metres, 97 are post-contact in only 16 runs, and he's almost making 100 metres of post-contact. Had the line break, 5 tackle breaks, had to go in defence, 42 tackles as well. Just ridiculous stuff, to be honest. And lastly, I will shout out Victor Radley, as we said, in the lock position, scored the try, 21 runs, 242 metres, 89 post-contact metres, 36 tackles. And, I keep saying lastly, and then there's another player, Terrell May. Oh, my God. I think he played about 51 minutes straight. He played 51 minutes. I don't think he had stints. Is there a way to check that? No, there it is, yeah. 51 minutes straight for Terrell May off the bench. And in that time, 17 runs, 182 metres, 73 post-contact metres. He had 2 line break assists and a try assist as well. It's ridiculous. This Roosters team, if they play like this all the time, there should be no stopping them. And this is without James Tedesco. This is without Sam Walker. To be honest, though, I think this is how they should play. If they get Tedesco back on this side, sure, move Manu back to centres and your play style doesn't change too much. Your game plan doesn't change too much. But I think Luke Keary as their leading halfback and letting them play like this is the way forward for the Roosters. I know I'm going to spend a lot more time on this game than I will others just because this game was so exciting. But yeah, just fantastic game for the Roosters. The Knights, look, they really just struggled with staying on top of the Roosters. The Roosters, when they got a roll on, they just stormed the Knights. The Knights did really well to fight their way back into the competition, but there was a moment, the Brandon Smith try, when Joey Manu plays that ball, there is not a single Knights player on side. And I don't think that's necessarily because the Knights are being lazy. I think it's just the momentum and the speed of the game, the speed of the play of the ball was just, they couldn't stop them. They couldn't slow them down. Everybody was running back for the Knights, but then by the time Manu even plays that ball, Smith has got the ball in his hands and there is no one on side for the Knights to make that tackle. It's just, fantastic game of footy. Shout out both of these sides. I think if they both play like this for the rest of the season, both will make the finals. But we'll try and wrap that one up so we can get into the rest of these games. We're in fucking 25 minutes into the recording, and we've gone through one game. So, of course, the next game was our first Friday game, the Melbourne Storm defeating the Canterbury Bulldogs 16-14. I think a lot of people, including myself, we really expected the Storm to come out and absolutely blow the Bulldogs, a decimated Bulldogs team, off the park. Not the case, and it's really just, it keeps shocking me, to be honest. Every week I look at the Bulldogs and I go, look, I don't know if Cameron Serrato's actually that good of a coach, and I don't know if these selections are good. I think they're really poor selections, but then they come out and they have performances like this, the Bulldogs. Very unlucky not to win this game. It came down to just Cameron Munster being a big game player right at the end for the Storm to score that final try and get away with the win in this one. But the Bulldogs, they were so spirited. They didn't score a point in the first half, but then they went 47th minute, 56th minute, 61st minute, bang, 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 3 tries to Josh Adokar. And they just, they held in there right until the 74th, where Cameron Munster put Sean Bloor over, which sealed the game for the Storm, put them up by 2 points. And Bulldogs, they couldn't get it done after that. You know, Matt Burton, if he kicks 2 of those goals, maybe it happens, but you know, you can't sit there and blame goal kicks. Just a fantastic game of footy to watch, and shout out the Bulldogs and shout out your fans. You're doing some tremendous things. As I said, I sit here and think a few things and I go, maybe this isn't right, maybe that's not right, I don't like this, and then they come out and they prove me wrong. So I know a lot less about footy than the minds that are in play at the Bulldogs. But yeah, fantastic game in this one. It was really good to watch because it was so physical. There was like big hits every single set. Actually, there was one set in particular where it was every single tackle. I think it was about like 10 minutes before halftime. And every single tackle in the set, every run, every tackle, bang, massive hit, massive shot, just the entire set. It was ridiculous. And I was just smiling ear to ear, loving it. Just really good stuff. But we will get into the standout performers for these two sides. We'll start with the Bulldogs because they were the losers, unfortunately for them. In saying that, as I said, if you're a Bulldogs fan, if you're a Bulldogs coach, if you're a Bulldogs player, I don't think you really feel like a loser after that performance. Fantastic game, and you've got to pat yourselves on the back for it. But yeah, into their standout performers. Let's just simply go down my list for them. Starting with Josh Adokar, who made our team of the week. Just fantastic. I think what's cool about this is that this one was at Amy Park. And Josh Adokar, he scores a hat trick in 9 minutes, 10 minutes. Let me get, when were those tries? 47th to 61st. So it's about 14, 15 minutes. But yeah, he scores all 3 of those at Amy Park in the same blade of grass that he's crossed 100 and something times for the Storm. So he comes back to not so much haunt them because, as I said, the Storm got away with the win, but they would have been very worried for a while there, and it just had to be their man, Josh Adokar, to do that. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, he had 5 line breaks in this game, which is simply ridiculous. Obviously, 5 line breaks. It sort of leads to a few meters, 243 meters for Josh Adokar, 3 tries. It's just, yeah, there was a reason he made the team of the week. It was just ridiculous. But I thought a big reason for him being so involved and having such a good game was Bronson Xerri, who we also mentioned as someone that you didn't want him in the team of the week. Apparently, yeah, you can't blame me. This is you guys that voted Bronson Xerri out. But I thought Bronson Xerri, his work, he was giving Nick Meaney an absolute bath on that side. Nick Meaney, he's been solid in defence this year, in my opinion. I thought, I mentioned him in my Supercoach buys. I thought Nick Meaney's been really good this season. But, yeah, Bronson Xerri, his pace just absolutely blitzed him multiple times, especially in the runaway try for Josh Adokar. You can just see Meaney gets sized up by Xerri, and Xerri, bang, right on the outside, and then it's a one-on-one with Warbrick, and he does a perfect pass to Adokar, and he runs, 60, 70 metres to score that try. But Bronson Xerri, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. He ran for 209 metres of his own, had a couple line breaks, probably had a few tackle breaks. Let me see if I can find any tackle breaks from him. No, not that I can see. But yeah, also, a couple try assists. Very, very close to the team of the week. Just thought he was exceptional. Shaking off the rust of last week. And, he was a star back in the day. Everyone thought Bronson Xerri was going to be the next big thing. And if he keeps playing like this, then he very well could still be that. But by the sounds of things, with Blake Wilson out for a while and Blake Taff, I think he's out for another week, they'll probably stick with this side. And I think it's the best thing for them. Another thing to note is that Connor Tracy, despite being named on the wing, in the centres, was he named? Where was Connor Tracy named? No, he was named on the wing. He did end up playing fullback. Stephen Crichton played centre, and Jacob Kiraz played on the wing, and they looked fantastic. Connor Tracy, he had 22 runs or something. He was just so safe at the back. I absolutely adore him as a player. I think I say it to so many players, and I think maybe it's just because I'm a student of the game. There's so many players that are just like some of my absolute favourites, and Connor Tracy, he's one of them. He should be their fullback long term. He didn't have incredible stats or mind-boggling stats, but the way he played, just how safe he was, the effort areas of him, I thought he was elite for the Bulldogs. So shout out Connor Tracy. As we said Bronson Xerri, Josh Adokar, Jacob Kiraz. He had 29 runs for 303 metres, did Jacob Kiraz. Another one of those players who topped the 300-metre count. It's just exceptional stuff. As I said, if you're doing 300 metres in a season, you're lucky to see it happen 3-4 times in a season. And we've seen it 4-5 times in one round. It's just ridiculous. And I think Kiraz's work, it really went unnoticed because he didn't score any tries. And, it was Josh Adokar on the other side who scored a hat-trick and got all that love. Jacob Kiraz, he did so much work. And, again, we give him his raps every week. He fits in so well to this Bulldogs side. I love that the fans get around him. But shout out Jacob Kiraz. Insane work from him. Beyond that, for the Bulldogs, I thought Viliami Kikau, once again, fantastic. He was just... I said Bronson Xerri was giving Nick Meaney a bath. I think a lot of that was also off the back of what Viliami Kikau was doing out there. It was so dangerous. I think a lot of it, poor defense from Nick Meaney for sure, and I'm saying this as a Nick Meaney fan. But it's also got to be so hard when you've got two of the quickest players in the NRL on the outside of you, and then you've got one of the best second rowers and one of the most explosive athletes in the league on the inside. Like, how are you meant to defend this stuff? You can leave your second rower inside to make a one-on-one tackle on kick-out, sure, but is that going to happen? Are there any second rowers out there that can tackle kick-out one-on-one? Probably not. So if you bite in, then you've left space for Xerri and Adokar, and they burn you. And the thing about Kikau, he can do everything. He had 3 line break assists in this game from a second rower. That's just mental stuff. Like, he plays it so smart. He's a fantastic player. Yeah, Viliami Kikau thought he was exceptional for the Bulldogs. Beyond that, I thought Sam Hughes thought he was really good. Thought he was unlucky to get sin-binned. I think if we're sin-binning that, then Jared Warrior-Hargraves is getting sin-binned every single game. Look, it's grubby, it's dirty work, and we don't really want it in our game. Sure, I'm happy to say that. I don't think it's a sin bin, though, and I don't know if it changed the game. The Bulldogs still scored another try after that. But, definitely, and they conceded a try after he was back on the field as well. So, I don't want to say it cost them the game, but I just don't think it should have been a sin bin. But beyond that, we'll get into the Storm players now. It's an interesting one. I thought Ryan Pappenhausen, he was good. I thought, as we said, Cameron Munster, fantastic. He stands up when he's needed most. He's the best big game player, one of the best big game players in our league. Just exceptional stuff. He ran for about 147 metres or so from 5/8 as well. Just really, really good stuff. Josh King, thought he was exceptional. He played like the entire first half, did Josh King, just everywhere. He also managed 167 metres of his own. I think, was this the game that Tui Kamikamitha, he played 3 minutes and went off. So yeah, Josh King just had to play so many minutes, and yeah, really, really, really good stuff from King. Beyond that, Xavier Coates, I think we need to drug test this guy. Like, what is going on? He can't keep getting away with this sort of stuff. It's ridiculous. For him to do what he did against the Warriors a few weeks ago, and then for him to do this one, he's being caught midair in this tackle and he just drops onto the boot and puts it through. It's ridiculous stuff. It really is. Like, there needs to be an investigation into Xavier Coates. He's having his best season I've ever seen. He's an alien. He's a wild player. Beyond that, for the Storm, again, Jerome Hughes, very, very threatening. I thought just with the ball in hand, he's having his, I don't know if it's his best season because, he was around for some of their heydays, but the way I'm noticing him, I think he's playing some extraordinary footy. Really, really liking what he's doing. He's just so silky with the ball, and he's always looking to run, which is what you need from him. So yeah, shout out Jerome Hughes. Thought he had a fantastic game. But beyond that, probably not too many stand out players for the Storm. I think they had just a good overall game as a team. Shout out Sean Bloor for scoring that try, and I think his first try in Storm colours as well, and the game winner would have been really good. Harry Grant, he was all right. But yeah, not too many standout performers for the Storm. But yeah, they got the win, and they always do. The fact that you can grind out wins. Sometimes it's not about getting wins, emphatically over who you're expected to win against. If you can grind out these sort of ones, especially in the circumstances, maybe that's an even better indication of where you are this season. So I don't think either of these fan bases should be quite disappointed in these games. Maybe more so if you're a Storm fan, you can be a little disappointed. I don't know. You got the 2 points, and you got it in a way where you came back, you grinded, and you fought back, and you got that. So I'd be pretty happy with that, and you just move on to the next week. Bulldogs fans, unfortunate, you'd be a little bit disappointed that you had it, you were winning it, and then you lost it at the death. But it's against the Melbourne Storm and Amy Park. You're without half your team, through injuries. Such an inspired effort. So, yeah, I'm sure Bulldogs fans aren't too upset at how their team performed. They were exceptional. So shout out the Canterbury Bulldogs for their performance, and shout out the Storm for getting the chockies. Moving on to the late Friday game, we went into the Brisbane clash. So that's the Broncos up against the Dolphins. The Broncos, they came away 28-14 victors in this one. I think Reece Walsh, having him back in this side, it had such a profound effect on the game. Not that he had an superstar game. He was good, Reece Walsh, but just the way he plays his footy. I've said it before, he could go down as one of the most exciting or one of the best players we've ever seen. His attacking threat is just ridiculous. His acceleration is up there with the best I've seen. He had a few plays that didn't come off, a few errors from him. First game back from injury. But he was looking to try things that not many other players can do. He's, just exceptional. So, yeah, they came away with a good little win here over the Dolphins, who were sitting top of the table. 46,000 people in attendance for this one. So shout out to that. That's a fantastic achievement from the NRL and for everybody who went to this game. Good effort from you guys. But, yeah, Broncos got away with the win. Thought they were the better team, quite comprehensively. In terms of their standouts. So we'll start with Reece Walsh. Obviously, just that he does things that there are so many other players that can't do. He had 12 runs for 161 metres. In fairness, about 80 of them came in one big old run where they made that break down the right-hand side, and Jesse Arthurs found Reece Walsh, and he just raced away. He's so fast. His movement, he's so confident. As I said it when I was earlier in these podcasts, Reece Walsh, I was disappointed to lose him from the Warriors, but this is where he belongs, and he could go on to carve out one of the greatest careers we've ever seen in the NRL. And I'm not even I don't think that's an understatement to say just what he brings, I don't know. He's wild. He's such a wild player. I don't think he's the best fullback in our league at the moment. I think there are players like Tom Trbojevic and James Tedesco still that are ahead of him. But what he does and his influence off the field is just, ridiculous. But he scored a nice try in this one, kicked goals. Did he have any try assists? No, that's a poor game from Reece Walsh. Get him off. Scratch everything I said from him. But no, I thought he was fantastic. And also shout out, in the runaway try, we got the all-time commentary. He's a rugby league gazelle. Now, if that doesn't get you going from Rugby League 2, Rugby League 3, PS2 vibes, I don't know what does. That is an all-time call, and big shout-out, Vossi, for that one. Honestly, he had a few of his old calls. It's making me start to believe maybe there's a new rugby league game in the works or something, and he's just teasing it, because he's a rugby league gazelle is something I have not heard since that PS2 game. And he had another one in the game after. He is smoking. Oh, all-time stuff from Vossi. That's why he's one of the GOATs. So, wanted to shout that one out real quick. Moving on from Reece Walsh, though, and Vossi, we go to Selwyn Cobbo. As I said, made our team of the week, largely thanks to you guys voting. Fantastic game. He scored a double, 15 runs, 200 metres. He had another runaway try of his own and didn't get run down by a Tom Dearden of the likes in this one. But just really complete performance from Selwyn Cobbo. He's really settling into that centre row. I think he can get into that sort of variety of the best centres in our league. Thought he was exceptional. Corey Oates, not a great game from Corey, unfortunately. He did sort of make up for it in the second half, where he was a lot more safer and scored a try as well. But had a really poor first half, which is really unfortunate. But honestly, I'm not sure that the Broncos have too much depth at the moment to drop him. Not that I think that they would. You'd give him more than one game, especially in a game that you won. I think there's Jordan Pereira there, who I'm a massive fan of, who you could replace him with if they were to drop him. But with Dean Mariner out, I believe Deluise Hoyter just did. I think he's out for the season now as well. I'm struggling to think of any other wingers that they've got on their books. I think it's just sort of Jordan Pereira who'd be next man up, which, fantastic. I love Jordan Pereira, but I'd give Corey Oates another go. We know what he can bring to this side. And in the end, he did score a try as well, and you got the win. So just give him another go, and hopefully he irons out those errors and he comes back better for the next game. Beyond that, look, I thought their halves were fine. They didn't do anything stand out in this game. Ezra Mammy, he was all right. I think they just won this game through a lot of what Reece Walsh brought at the back, a lot of the individual brilliance of Selwyn Cobbo, and I thought their forward pack once again stood up, especially in the form of their captain, their leader, Patrick Carrigan. 23 runs, 209 metres, played the full 80 once again, 77 post-contact metres, 3 tackle breaks, 1 offload, and 46 tackles. Just what can you say? I say it every single week. He is probably my second favourite player in the league behind Sean Johnson. We mentioned the story about when he first burst onto the scene, and I kept pointing him out to my mother at the time. Just one of the best there is. There's not much more you can say about him. Just fantastic. Beyond that, Xavier Willison, exceptional off the bench. He was very unlucky to miss out on my bench player of the week position to David Fafita. Honestly, it was toss of the coin job there. I probably should have put it up to a vote for you guys, but I thought he was exceptional. He's definitely going to be staying in this side long term. He scored a try. He had 16 runs, 181 run meters, 83 post contact, had a line break, 6 tackle breaks. Just extraordinary stuff from Xavier Willison. Big reason that they actually got the Chockies in this one. So shout out the Broncos. Fantastic game for you guys. Moving into the Dolphins. Now, I tipped the Dolphins in this game. I thought Broncos without Reynolds were maybe going to be a bit hard to get this one done. But once Hammer went down after about 20 minutes with an injury and he didn't return, it was never going to happen. It might not have happened before that, in fairness. I don't want to take that away from the Warriors. From the Broncos. But when Hammer went down, he chased Corey Oates in a long-range try that was called back. And done a hamstring, I believe it was. So he is going to be out for a fair few weeks now, which is really unfortunate for the Dolphins, really unfortunate for the NRL, because any fan of the game just wants to see Hammer playing and Hammer playing his best footy. So, yeah, unfortunate for that. Beyond that, for the Dolphins, look, I thought they grinded. I thought they hung in there. Isaiah Katoa, once again, he's just doing some exceptional things for the Dolphins. I can't believe how far he's progressed, how quick he's progressed in a team. I think this team in general, we need to give them so many more dues than we do. This is a franchise in its second year, and, Isaiah being led by a rookie in his second year, and they were top of the table before this game, only losing by 14 points to a team that we're predicting to be right in the grand final calculations again. So we need to give the Dolphins their dues. Isaiah Katoa, he's doing some exceptional things. So, yeah, I want to give that shout out to him. Beyond that, Jeremy Marshall-King, thought he was good. I loved his chase on Selwyn Cobbo, just great effort areas from him. Jesse Bromwich, good once again. Once again, they're doing this without Paddy Carrigan and Herbie Farnworth too, which are two massive outs. So it would have been great to see them up against their former club as well. But not to be. Thought they grit and grinded. There weren't too many standout performers. I thought Mark Nichols was really, really good in the middle. He stood up for the Dolphins. I swear he just played huge minutes. No, only 41. Geez. I just, seemingly every time I was watching, he was out there doing something. But yeah, how did he go running meter-wise? Yeah, 18 runs, 170 metres. Thought Mark Nichols was really, really good for them. Obviously, yeah, didn't get the chockies, and look, there weren't too many standout performers, but that's the best thing about a club, and sometimes is when you've got a team that's so well connected that there's not just a superstar that goes bang, bang, bang. Sometimes there is, they do have Hammer that does that, but they play their footy really controlled, and yeah, of course they lost. But I thought they played pretty darn well, considering the circumstances. You lose Flegler, you lose Herbie, your 2-star recruits, and then you lose your actual superstar. Played well, Dolphins. I'm sure Dolphins fans would be pretty proud of their side, and they'll be looking forward to the next week. So shout out the Dolphins. But we'll move into the next game of the round. The first Saturday game being the Warriors and the Sea Eagles, running out the first draw of 2024. There could have been 2 draws this round with another game we'll get to later in this episode. But yeah, this one, 22 all. As a Warriors fan, really happy with the result. We were down 16-0 pretty early into this. 27 minutes in, we were down 16-0. There you go. And I'm like, shit, look, maybe I'm out of here. Maybe we're not the team that I thought we were. But we grinded. We got back into this game. We scored in the 35th minute and the 39th off a intercept to Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, which, brought us within 4 points. No, 6 points. Yeah, within 6 points going into halftime, which is ridiculous because we should have been down by so much more. Then Sean Johnson scored in the 52nd minute off a just exceptional individual effort, which we'll get into. And then Dallin Watene-Zelezniak scored in the 79th, which Sean Johnson converted to take this to Golden Point. Nobody managed to score any points in Golden Point. So it ended up being a draw, which I think is a good reflection of the game. I don't think that the Warriors necessarily deserved the win. I think the way that they got themselves back into it is exceptional, but they shouldn't have been down what they were in the first place. So I think a 22-point draw, both teams get the 1 point. I think it's a very fair reflection of what this game was. There's a lot of divide in the refereeing department about how this game was officiated. People very much in Warriors camp, people very much in Manly camp. I think people just need to stop. Every single comment, every single game, people are like, it's the ref's fault. It's the ref's fault. It's like, oh my God, sit down and enjoy the fucking rugby league. Goodness gracious. I'm a diehard Warriors fan, one of the biggest Warriors fans there are. But I'm not going to sit here and think that the officiating was really against us in this one. But then there's people out there, Manly fans, saying that the penalty that Sean Johnson kicked a penalty goal, in the 79th minute. No, sorry, he missed. I think he missed the Dallin. No, I can't remember. I don't know what's going on. Regardless, I think he hit the Dallin one, and then we're down by 2 points. I can't remember. I think he hit the Dallin conversion, and then we went for a 2-point field goal. And in the process of doing that, Josh Aloiai went for a charge down and came in contact with Sean Johnson's leg. That's a penalty. It has always been a penalty. You cannot take out the legs of a kicker. I'm not saying that as a Warriors fan. I'm saying that as, like, you can't take out the legs of a kicker. Freddie Lussick just copped 4 weeks suspension for doing that in New South Wales Cup. Josh Aloiai took out the legs of a kicker. That's a penalty. I don't know how people are debating that. It's some of the dumbest debates I've ever seen. But yeah. Anyway, let's try and get into the standouts for this game. I'm going to start with the Seagulls. Now, Seagulls, as I said in general, I thought this game, it deserved a draw. Both teams played well in different aspects. Tom Trbojevic, he ran for 241 metres. He had a line break. He had a couple try assists. It's cool seeing what Turbo's doing because he's doing some incredible stuff, but it's not just the 2021 Turbo. But it's not far off it. But people just aren't seeing all the highlight plays. The work rate he's doing, what he's coming up with, is exceptional. He's still one of the best fullbacks, one of the best players in our game. And I really think that we're sort of underappreciating him right now. But yeah, I thought he was really excellent, and his bearing on how Manly goes it's still right up there with how he was in 2021. You know, 2 weeks ago, last week, when was it that Manly lost to the Dragons? Might have been last week. I'm not sure. Regardless, when they lost, it was the poorest game I've ever seen from Tom Trbojevic. And yeah, that's essentially why they lost, because nobody can do what he does. Nobody can sort of replace his role in their side. And if he's playing poor, Manly, they're done. But when he's playing well, or even just, you know, I say well, this is a fantastic game. You look at how he played in this one and put that to any other fullback in the game, you're going, Jesus, that's a bloody good knock. But it's Tom Trbojevic, and people are like, it's a pretty mediocre game. And such is the standards that he has set. But yeah, he's playing some really, really great footy, Trbojevic, and I think we still need to keep giving him his dues, and that's what I want to do right here. But beyond Tom Trbojevic for the Seagulls, you know, I thought Luke Brooks, he had moments. He's still looking good. He's still looking dangerous. I like the way he's playing. He did come up with the error to Dallin Martinez-Lesniak. He threw a ball that just didn't need to be thrown right on half-time, intercepted by Dallin. Dallin scores to bring it close. It was a silly ball. I don't really know what he was going for. When you're up by that point, I understand. Like, I like the idea of you don't want to hold leads. You want to play like you're still looking to score points, which I respect that. At the same time, there's 5-10 seconds left before halftime. You're 40 metres out from their try line. You're not going to make something happen that far away. Let the game go out. Let your forwards who have been battling get that rest. Don't throw that 1 in a million pass. And then, yeah, it comes off. And as a forward, as a fellow forward, it's killer. When you battle, you work so hard and you're stuffed. You're like, halftime, please get here. And then your halves who are meant to score you points and keep you in this game, they come up with something like that. And it's just, yeah, a real kick in the dick for the progress and the work that you do. So really, yeah, unfortunate for Luke Brooks. Thought that was a dumb play. In saying that, look, as I said, he's still having a really good season, in my opinion, Luke Brooks. This was his poorest game of the season by far. So I'm sure he'll bounce back from it again next week against the Titans. But moving on from Luke Brooks, we go to Daly Cherry-Evans, their fearless leader, their captain. Fantastic game. As I said, very unlucky not to get into my team of the week this week. Probably should have made it above Sean Johnson, but I gave him the nod last week. I can have my Warriors bias come in this one. But yeah, he scored another double in this one, both from kicks to my knowledge. I can't recall both. I know one of them was from a kick. I'm pretty sure both were from kicks. But yeah, just once again, a fantastic game. Came up with a try assist as well. Couple tackle breaks. Where's his kick meters? 689 kick meters from 22 kicks. Couple of forced dropouts. He was just exceptional. It is wild that he's doing this at his age. He genuinely could be the next 400 game player if he wants to. Like, it's almost crazy to think about that. He's hardly missed games. He debuted in 2011. He would have been 21 at the time. Let me get that up. Yeah, so he debuted on the 12th of March 2011, and his birthday is the 20th of February. So if we just subtract, 13 years? He'd be 21, 22. That's pretty late debut for someone of his stature. Imagine if he got those 2 extra years into the game as well. I don't know. He genuinely could just keep doing this to his 40s. He's just such a fantastic player, Daly Cherry Evans. I'm really happy that I'm coming around to, well, I've come around, I should say, to his excellence in our game. But beyond that, their forward pack, I thought they really matched it with the Warriors all night. I loved the forward pack duel. I'm always a slut for the old forward pack duels. I think they're just so good to watch. Maybe as a fellow front rower myself, it's good to see the work that these players do and give them recognition for it. But Taniela Paseka, 21 runs, 198 metres, 82 post-contact metres as well, 4 tackle breaks. His front row partner, Josh Aloye, 14 runs for 140 metres. And off the bench, they had Toa Fofoa-Sipley, 18 runs for 169 metres. That is just fantastic work. Just, you got to give them their love. Really, really impressed with that. As I said, Jake Trbojevic, thought he had his best game of the season. I loved the work he was doing in this game. His link roll, sure, we know he does that so well. But 17 runs from Jake, 158 metres, would have made like 50 tackles, surely. 49 tackles, 1 miss in 85 minutes. To have 1 missed tackle in 85, how many, was it 85? Yeah, 85 minutes he played. That is ridiculous. It's just, yeah, you got to give him his dues. He's fantastic, Jake Trbojevic. He's so integral to this Manly side. Beyond that, I also thought Homale Olakau'atu, as I said, we spoke about him. He was making essentially every run. He was carrying defenders 10, 15, 20 meters post contact. It was just ridiculous what he was doing for the Seagulls. But yeah, that sort of wraps us up for their individual performers. But yeah, just a fantastic game for the Seagulls, and a fantastic game to watch in general. I think as a neutral fan, you would have really liked watching this. As a fan of either of these clubs, might have been quite frustrating. You know, I'm a Warriors fan, and I was excited because we were on that comeback, so it would have helped and it would have felt a lot better. But for the Seagulls to be confident from your lead and then start watching it slowly dip away, it would have been very frustrating to watch. But no, I enjoyed watching this game. In the standouts for the Warriors, let's start at their fullback, Charnze Nicoll-Klokstad, 346 metres. He's just incredible. We're thinking, 2-3 weeks ago, people were going, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck had a near 300 metre game at fullback. He should be our fullback. Charnze, since then, has gone 250 odd metres and 350 metres. Like, what is going on? He's so good, man. He always looks for work. He's just, I don't know. I love him. I adore Charnze Nicoll-Klokstad and his humility off the field, just everything about Charnze. He's a freak. I love him so much. And that's why he got into our team of the week on the bench as our best spine player who didn't quite make the side. Beyond him, Dallin Watene-Zelezniak back from injury as well. 2 tries for him, 205 metres. Mainly that intercept try was a big catalyst as to why we got back into this game. And of course, he scored the try right at the death to level those scores, essentially, almost level those scores. So you got to give Dallin a massive respect for what he was able to pull off. Yeah, 2 tries, 1 line break, 4 tackle breaks, 1 intercept, 205 metres. Just fantastic stuff. Once again, Rocco Berry continuing to excel defensively. I think he has turned into one of, if not the best defensive centre in the NRL. Loving what he's doing. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, I thought he had his poorest game this season. A couple crucial errors from Roger in this one. Like, he still managed his 209 metres and he was still good in attack. But yeah, those errors really put us under the pump. So not the best game from Roger, but he'll bounce back. We know what Roger is like. Tamari Martin, he's been fantastic in his couple games for us. Shaun Johnson, as I said, made the team of the week. Just, yeah, ridiculous what he's doing. He had 21 runs for 147 metres to Shaun Johnson. That is our 33-year-old halfback doing this sort of stuff. Yeah, the try that he scored, vintage Shaun Johnson, 40-metre run, step Tom Trbojevic one-on-one. Just, it's ridiculous what he's doing, and I could not be happier as Shaun Johnson's biggest fan. So yeah, fantastic stuff from Shaun. He did let us down a little bit in the goal kicking. It wouldn't have been close if he missed one that was quite easy. but he nailed the one right at the death, and then nailed the one to put us, equal and put us into extra time. So we'll sort of forgive him for that. He also did have a couple errors. Like there was a kick that he put dead, pretty crucial into the game. But as I said, between the try assist he came up for Dallin, like he was the catalyst for us getting back into this game and getting into extra time. So that is why he made my team of the week. 147 metres from halfback is no lean feet as well. So shout out Johnson. We mentioned the front rowers, so I won't spend too much time on them. Adam Fanua-Blake, 21 runs, 196 metres and 47 tackles. Mitch Barnett, 164 metres from 17 runs and 50 tackles. Also, as I said, those 50 tackles from Mitch Barnett, so the work he's doing in defence is fantastic. He's just... his defensive efforts are just incredible, and that's why I got him into my team of the week this week. You really need to watch what Mitch Barnett does on the defensive end to understand. But yeah, those two, fantastic. Wade Egan played 90 minutes, ran 10 times for 95 metres. He also pulled up 58 tackles of his own, so shout out there. Jackson Ford, I thought he was quite poor. I've got to say that one. Another couple errors from Jackson. We just need to start ironing them out. Also, in 75 minutes, he only ran for 51 metres. Kurt Capewell, I thought his kick chase efforts, him and Rocco Berry, are so integral to this side. And those are the things that we bought Kurt Capewell for. Whenever Sean's putting in that long kick early in a tackle count, Kurt Capewell and Rocco, they sprint down there to be the first there and make that tackle. Those are the efforts that Kurt Capewell is known for, and they're stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. So shout out Kurt Capewell. Tohu, another great game from him. 26 runs, 148 metres. Just, a fantastic game all round. Both teams would be relatively happy with the result, I'd say. Maybe Manly would be a bit more disappointed because they had that early lead and they let it slip. But as fans of these two teams, I think you just got to enjoy that game, which I certainly did. But that'll wrap us up for that one. So we'll move into the second Saturday game, which was the Eels defeating the Cowboys 27-20. Now, I mentioned in my previews that I had a bit of a hunch, a bit of a gut feel that the Eels could be part of that bounce back sort of squad. And they ended up being just that. I didn't change my tips, not that I really could, but I still believe that the Cowboys could have got it done, but I'm really happy that the Eels did. As I said, I'm happy just because I want a close competition. I love seeing teams, the Eels were 2-4 leading into this, and they're now 3-4, and they're getting a win over a team that was, again, sitting quite close to the top of the ladder. It's just great seeing that any team can win on their day, and that's what I love when I'm watching teams that aren't the Warriors. I want Warriors can win every game. Beyond that, I don't care who wins from the other games. I just want close competition. But yeah, in the individual performance standout, we'll start with the Cowboys. Scott Drinkwater, look, I thought it was his poorest game of the season, but I still thought he was really good. Like, he's always out there. He's dangerous. He scored a try. He had a couple try assists. He had like a few moments in defense or in like concentration, which were a bit, bit how you going in my opinion. But still a good game. Like, this is me trying to shit on Scott Drinkwater. I'm saying it because he's been one of the best fullbacks of our game. That I thought it was one of his more quieter ones, but still a really good game from Scotty Drinkwater. It's just wild what he can do. He's literally the catalyst for their attack in every sense of the word. I thought Valentine Holmes also had one of his quieter games of the season, despite scoring a try. I thought Tom Chester was fantastic. What annoyed me is I had Valentine and Tom Chester as try scorers for my multi, and then I had Cowboys to win. And the Cowboys to win was the one that lost. So that was very unfortunate. But I thought Tom Chester looked really good out in the centres out there. He scored a really nice try. So I'd assume he keeps that position as well. Murray Taulagi was really, really good for them. Lots of work out of his own end. 190 metres from Murray Taulagi from 15 carries, couple of line break assist, try assist. Just really, really good. Beyond that, for the Cowboys, there weren't too many standouts. I mean, their halves I thought were really good. Chad Townsend's having one of the best seasons I've ever seen from him. I thought Jason Taumalolo had some really, really hard carries. Still only played 42 minutes in this one. I think they need him out there for longer, especially with the way he was playing. I know it's because of this injury and they want to maintain him, but there's no point maintaining him if you don't even get to finals, and you need to win these games to get to finals. But 8 runs from Taumalolo for 1 metre under 100 metres, so 99 metres from 8 runs. Thought he was really, really good. He looked damaging out there. You needed more minutes from him. 57 post-contact meters, 4 tackle breaks. They need to start putting some more minutes into him if they want to win enough games to make the finals, to be honest. Beyond that, look, not too many standout performers for the Cowboys. Nanai scored a try, but still didn't get through the work that we really want him doing. Griffin Neame only played 27 minutes off the bench, so not sure what they're doing there. He's normally been their go forward off that bench. But yeah, not their best game, to be honest. Reuben Cotter, I thought he was strong, as he always is as well. But moving into the Parramatta Eels, they were good. I mean, Clint Gutherson would not shut up all game, just not so much swearing at the referee, but complaining every call, debating every call, which I guess is your captain. You want him doing that. And I love Gutho. This isn't even a knock against him, but shut up, mate. Jesus Christ. But yeah, he played well, did Gutherson. A lot more meters this game, a lot more involved. And you could just see the passion. They interviewed him at halftime and he just said, I hate losing. I love that. I hate losing too. And that's what you want from your captain, your leader. So yeah, really good stuff from Gutho in this game. I thought Will Penasini was quite good. I thought Morgan Harper back in the centres was fantastic. He's been a bit of an enigma for them this season. One good game, one poor game, one good game, one poor game. Thought he was really good in this one. So definitely in that good game category. Dejan Arce, this was the catalyst for their win. Bringing Arce back into their side and letting him just play his game and freeing up Dylan Brown. That's how they got the Chockies in this one. Arce, he scored a try. He kicked the field goal as well. It was just fantastic. And he matched Dill Brown in kick meters, which I think is a big thing. You know, when you got Mitch Moses out there kicking 600, 700 meters, sure, that's great. But when you've got Dylan Brown as your halfback, you don't want him. You can't really be having him kick 700 meters because he's not as good of a kicker as Mitch Moses. There's going to be some errors. There's going to be some poor kicks. So if you can split that down the middle, 6 kicks for Arce, 7 kicks for Brown, 167 kick meters for Arce, 193 for Brown. That just bodes well for your side, and the results show off the back of that. Both of these halves played really well in their ways. Once again, Dylan Brown sort of playing more as a 5'8". He had 13 runs for 147 meters. Did come up with the try assist and line break assist as well. Yeah, I don't know. There's not much more to say. I think they found that recipe. Hopefully they can continue with that. Sucks for Blaze Talangi, who obviously got dropped for this, but I think this is the way you go. Dejan Arce, I love him. Always really rated him as a player since he debuted for the Cowboys. I thought he was going to be a bit of a longer-term player for them, but not the case. Here he is at the Eels doing some really good things, so shout out him. In the forward department, once again, Junior Paulo coming off the interchange. It's a recipe for success, except for last week when they did it and he wasn't very good. But this week, off the bench, 44 minutes, 13 runs, 124 metres, 62 post-contact, 2 tackle breaks and 2 offloads. That's the recipe for success for the Eels. Junior Paulo coming off that bench. So fantastic stuff for him. I thought Regan Campbell-Gillard had one of his best games of the season too. Played 58 minutes, did Regan Campbell-Gillard. So big minutes for him. 16 runs, 152 metres, just really powerful charges. So love that. Joey Lussick scored a try, which is good for super coaches, realistically. Beyond that, Jaman Hopgood only played 60 minutes in this game, a bit down on what he's been playing. I don't hate a 60-minute role. I think around 65 would probably be ideal just to get him. I think the Eels are best when he's on the field. But what is sort of interesting is Ryan Madison only played 22 off the bench. So, you know, Ryan Madison, I argued a couple of weeks ago that the recipe for the success was Ryan Madison and Paolo coming off the bench. But Ryan Madison, if he's only getting 22 minutes, maybe they can look to move him on. I know Dragons have been interested in a bit of a player swap for Lomax. I don't know if you do it now if you're the Eels because, well, Why would you? You've essentially locked up Lomax for next year. You can keep Ryan Madison and Zach Lomax. So, I don't know, but there could be potential there because 22 minutes, you're not getting the best out of Ryan Madison, and we know that he's a fantastic player. Beyond that, thought Joe Offa-Hingawi was really good. But yeah, this game, once again, was very much just the way that these two teams played as a whole is where they stood out. I really enjoyed this game once again. And yeah, really happy that the Eels won to make this a close competition. Beyond that, we will move into the next game, trying to get through these a little bit quicker. I don't want to be here for another hour, but we'll go into the Rabbitohs taking on the Sharks. The Sharks, they ended up winning this one 34-22, but shout out the Rabbitohs, man. I thought they played with so much heart, so much effort, so much enthusiasm, just stuff that I haven't seen from them so far this year, 2024. Look, I'm not sure how much of it was necessarily to save their coach or whatnot, but all that matters to me is just how they played and the effort that they showed, and I thought they did that. So let's start with their standouts, because yeah, I want to give my shouts to the Rabbitohs this year. I've been very harsh on them, which, you know, from a fair perspective in my opinion, but I want to give them dues when stuff like this happens. But let's start with their debutant, Jai Gray. Fantastic. He looks every bit of first grader for someone who's like 170 centimeters tall. Really, really happy for him to get his shot in this one, and really happy for the performance that he came out with. It's just bobbing around everywhere. A real jackrabbit, if you will. Pun definitely intended. But in his 68 minutes, he did miss some time with their HIA. He had 15 runs for 172 meters, 54 post-contact meters, 7 tackle breaks. This is all, as I said, for someone who's like 5'8", 5 foot. Let's find out. Jai Gray is 170 centimeters. What is that in feet? 5'7", they're saying here. So yeah, 5'7", little player out there. Not sure. What is his at? Far out. Why am I doing all this tangent when I just said I want to make it all quick smart? But he's got to be what, 18? He's 20. My bad. Okay, but yeah. Young player out there, small player out there, and he was absolutely killing it. So shout out Jai Gray. He was excellent for the Bunnies, and I'm not sure what they do. Obviously, the way he played, maybe you could keep him at fullback. He'll be there for a few more weeks anyway with Latrell out. If he continues to play this way, maybe you move Latrell to the centres. I thought Isaiah Tass had another poor game. I think he's been really, really bad this year. He scored a try, which is, you know, that's all good and well. But in general, I think Tass has been just, really poor all season, which, you know, isn't trying out Isaiah Tass. All of this Bunnies team have been quite poor, but Isaiah Tass, especially for me, has been quite poor. I don't know if you want to move Latrell to centre. I think I'd still prefer him at fullback, but that's an option that they could tinker around with. But yeah, Jai Gray, really good performance from him, really good debut, and congratulations. Beyond that, Jack Whiten, once again, look, we know what he's been doing. He's been one of those only Rabbitohs players that have been standing up and performing really, really well week in, week out, doing the exact same thing again here. 19 runs, 188 meters, 73 post-contact, 4 tackle breaks. Just, yeah, exceptional stuff from Jack White, and I love what I'm seeing from him. I'm not sure if he feels like a Rabbitoh yet. He just feels like a footballer, but he's the sort of player I can see in a lot of different jerseys. But he's looking good in the Rabbitohs colours. Hopefully they can find some form and repay him, because I know he came here to win a premiership, and he deserves one, to be fair. So, yeah, fantastic stuff from Jack Whiten. Thought Tane Milne was really good again. Scored a try in this one. Didn't get through his 200 metres a game that he has been doing, but still was just enough solid efforts out of his own half. And, yeah, scored a really good try. So, good stuff there. Cody Walker had his probably best game of the season. Just looked a lot more threatening. Hit his passes a lot better. Pass selection was smarter. Was choosing when to run the ball and whatnot. Just a lot better. So shout out there, Cody Walker. Dean Hawkins, his best game of the season as well. Tom Burgess, we mentioned, very, very close to my team of the week. Thought he was exceptional. When I thought the Bunnies were going on their roll, I think it was all off the back of Tom Burgess. His runs were so powerful. He scored a try in this one as well, but 17 runs for 161 meters, 58 post-contact as well. as I said, the line break and the try as well. So, yeah, really good stuff there. Peter Mamouzelos, he played the full 80 at hooker and looked fantastic. He's obviously going to be their man moving forward when Cook retires. I'm not sure what happens if Cook comes back into this side or not, but you can't say that it's off the back of a Mamouzelos poor performance because he was really, really good in this game as well. Kieran Kaloamatangi, fantastic again. Look, the big part about this Rabbitohs performance is they did it without, the people that they're already missing, without someone like Latrell Mitchell, without someone like Damien Cook. And then Cameron Murray, he only played 40 minutes in this game. So you're doing it without your captain too. And they had their best performance of the season, in my opinion. Maybe their round one was still their best. But they came out, they performed really well, and they performed spirited. And, yeah, honestly, I'm just really impressed with how they went, and I want to give them their dues. And I'm hoping that as a Rabbitohs fan, you're pretty happy, and you can see you're happier than what you have been this season. So shout out the Rabbitohs, man. But we'll move into the actual winners of this contest, which were the Sharks. Now, I'm not as impressed with the Sharks as I was with the Rabbitohs just because of circumstances where these clubs are. I expect more from the Sharkies. I tipped them to absolutely run away with this one. I was expecting a 40-0 win. It didn't happen. They still scored 34 of their own points. And they weren't bad, don't get me wrong, but I expect a little bit more. Let's start with their standouts. Sione Katoa. Let's start with both the wingers. Let's mould them into one. Sione Katoa was exceptional. He scored a try of his own, had 155 run meters. Now, the big thing about Katoa, we know he just sort of bobs and weaves around the park, just step here, bounce there, wild stuff. 14 tackle breaks. I don't know if I've ever seen more than that. 14 tackle breaks. That is ridiculous. It's absurd. I'm baffled. I really am. So, Sione Katoa, man, yeah, shout out you. That's wild stuff. Unfortunately, your wing partner outshouted you in a few different areas. He scored one more try than you. He had a couple try assists, and he just came up with some wild plays. Both of Ronaldo's try assists in quotation marks were from offloads from kicks. One of them sort of being like a bat back from a high ball and then went to Teague Wilton to score. The other one was a offload near off the ground, just crazy offload that, of course, also found Teague Wilton, who crossed for a try. And then, he scored his tries as well. Ronaldo, he was just a massive influence as to why they won this game. I think both of their wingers were, in terms of the work that they did in attack. So shout out them. But yeah, Ronaldo Mulitalo, as we know, he made the team of the week. He had a fantastic game. Go back and watch at least like the extended highlights. If you missed this game and you got a chance, go watch that. You can see some of the stuff these guys were doing. Their centers, once again, I thought were really good. Kale Iro, he's doing a lot of work. He looks every bit a first grader. Jesse Ramian, he was good once again. Braden Trindle, he was really, really good. He didn't run the ball all too often, but when he did, it was really selective and it was really good. But he, dug into the line really well, had some really good try assists as well. He's fitting in nicely now. He's sort of learning his craft a lot more and melding into the team a lot better. Nico Hines, he was good once again. Thomas Hazelton, I thought was a real colossus for the Sharkies. He's quickly become one of their better middle forwards, in my opinion. When their team's full strength, I can't imagine he's the man to miss out. Honestly, with how they have to recruit and who they've still got locked up and who's yet to come into this side, obviously, and Fanua Blake next year, I think I'd be letting Oregon Kaufusi walk. There's no point signing another front row when they've got Hamlin Uele, Toby Rudolph, Tom Hazelton. They have young Max Bradbury as well. You've still got Dale Finucane, Cameron McInnes, and you got Adam Fanua Blake coming back into this side. I think you've still got Royce Hunt. I'm not sure when he's wrapped up too. Oregon Kaufusi, he started in this one again, and he hasn't been poor, don't get me wrong, but I think Oregon Kaufusi is a really good get for another club, and when you're the Sharks with everyone else that you have, I wouldn't be looking to spend that money on Kaufusi, especially, with the way Tom Hazelton's been playing. I suspect when they're full strength, when all their forwards are back this year, he still stays in the squad. And I'm pretty certain that when Adden arrives next year, Hazelton will still have a spot in this team. But thought he was excellent in this one. He ran the ball 13 times for 122 of his own meters as well. Beyond that, as I said, Teague Wilton scored a couple of tries. Was close to making the team of the week. I thought he was quite good. Just not as good as some of the people that did make it. And, Angus Crichton and Jaden Sewer was probably next in line who didn't make it over Teague Wilton. But Teague Wilton, good game, played the full 80. Cameron McInnes, once again, fantastic. 12 runs, 143 metres, 42 post-contact, 1 line break, 2 tackle breaks, and probably 100 tackles. 41 tackles, 0 missed. That's Cameron McInnes. He's the best. He really is. But once again, I just want to touch on his art of running in behind the ruck, because it's something that is definitely, it's left behind a lot in today's league, but this is why he makes so many meters, just darting in behind the ruck. He's so good at it. It is interesting how the Sharkies are using CSF for Talakai. I thought he looked really good when he was on the field, but only 16 minutes for Talakai. 3 weeks ago, he was the best centre in the league. I can't believe he's now a bench forward. And by the sounds of things, he's been really selfless and he just wants to do the best for the team. Apparently, he doesn't care where he plays or what he's doing. He just wants to be in a winning team. And I love that from a footballer. I think he can learn a lot from CSF for Talakai. But he's too good to be playing 16 minutes. I don't care where you play him. I'd play him more than 16 minutes at bloody fullback if I had to. He needs to be on the field longer than that. I don't know if you put him back in the centres because Kayla Ero was going so well. But as I said, Talakai was one of the best centres in the league before he moved. So I don't know. It's interesting. They're getting results. So you can't be too critical. But yeah, if I was Sifa or if I was the Sharkies, I'd be finding a way to get him more minutes on the field. But we'll move on from that game. Congratulations to the Sharks for another victory. They're playing really well this season. But once again, all my love goes to the Rabbitohs, who played with a lot of heart in the media for the entire week and, had things go against you in terms of injuries this week as well. It's been tough, but I thought you played with a lot of heart, a lot of spirit, and I want to give you a massive shout out. And hopefully they can find their feet moving forward. But we'll move into our Sunday games, coming into the last 2 games of the round. We start with the West Tigers going down to the St. George Illawarra Dragons. 24-12, the Dragons won this one, despite it being a Tigers home game. I did tip the Dragons. I thought they were going to get away with it just on the back of their forward pack, and essentially that is how they got away with it. I thought their forward pack was exceptional. We're going to start with them, which is a bit different. Normally we start with the losing side, but we'll start with the Dragons just as a bit of a sort of segue here. Let's just go over forward numbers for a second. Harm Saleh in his first game back, only 43 minutes, but he had 9 runs for 85 metres. Jaden Sewer, 18 runs for 170 metres. Blake Laurie off the bench, 13 runs, 110 metres. Jack DeBellin, 18 runs, 144 metres. Like, they were so good. Even Ben Murdoch-Masila only played 20 minutes and had 7 runs for 72 metres. But again, it's not just about the metres gained. Let's have a look at some of the other stuff that these players were doing. We had 5 tackle breaks from Jaden Sewer. We had 2 offloads from Jack DeBellin, 2 from Jaden Sewer, 2 from Molo. Oh, Molo is another player I missed. How'd Molo go? 13 runs, 110 metres, yeah. The way that these Dragons play, I really like the footy that they play. They're missing something, and they're weird in the sense that I look at them and I watch their games, and I can't quite figure out why they're not going as good as I think they should be, because I think their forward pack's going well. I think their backs are playing fantastic. I thought Moses Sully's defence in this game was extraordinary, and he still ran for 139 metres of his own. There's something missing, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe it's Tyrell Sloan. Now, I think Sloan has been a lot better this season than he has been in previous seasons. Obviously, got sort of hooked from fullback last week and didn't play very well. Was very quiet again in this one. Didn't do all too much. In fact, there was a time that they did a right-hand side move, and he just passed the ball instead of taking them on with his speed, which I was a bit disappointed at. But I genuinely think if you threw a superstar fullback, maybe not even a superstar, but like a really good fullback, like a Charnze or Klukstar into this team, they could be top 8. I genuinely believe that in the Dragons. I'm not even trying to say this to bag Sloan, because Sloan, if he can turn into that, which we know he has that potential to do, there's something here in the Dragons. I really believe it. I really wish that they did sign Joseph Manu for, as I said, their entire salary cap. I don't care. If they had him playing at fullback, God, they could be a very threatening footy side. Now, there's reports that they've offered Sunia Taruva a contract, and it's like more of a, look, we'll sign you. You're definitely either going to be like our winger, or you can battle it out with Sloan to get our fullback jersey, and we'll let that happen. I don't mind that as a signing. Taruva came through the grades as a fullback. Could be, I haven't seen too much of him, at fullback in a higher level like the NRL, so I can't comment on whether he will be fantastic there. But regardless, you're getting a fantastic winger to replace Zach Lomax, and you have the potential to get a really good fullback there too. So I like that signing, but yeah, I really wish that they got the signings of Adden, who they went after, and the signings of Joey Manu, who they went after. Even Tom Dearden would have been fantastic, even though I didn't want Dearden to leave the Cowboys because I want him to carve out a career there. But there's something here for the Dragons. I really have a bit of belief in their side. But once again, we'll go through their standout. Zach Lomax, he scored a try. Look, it was Lomax's, not his worst game of the season because he was still really good. He was one of the best players for the Dragons. There has always been a lump of rumours about Zach Lomax and how he doesn't fit into the club, and a lot of players aren't happy with him. And there's ego problems, blah, blah, blah. Now, these are things that I can't comment on as I'm not part of that Dragon squad. But there's a little bit of evidence doing that. There's a moment he made a fantastic catch of the football, great effort areas, and he threw it out to Michaeli Ravalawa. Now, the pass wasn't fantastic, which you can't blame Zach Lomax for. He was all sort of in the one motion, and he had to fire it over players. Like, it was a good effort. It didn't go to hand, obviously, and it skid along the ground. Incredibly difficult ball to take. Like, no one's taking that. And Zach Lomax got up and blew up at Michaeli Ravalawa Deluxe. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, how are you going to blame Ravalawa for that? That is crazy. And there were multiple instances in this game where he just... I think it's because he was putting in the effort and it wasn't necessarily reciprocated from his team in some areas. But... yeah, some of the stuff that he was blowing up at or shaking the head at or just getting angry, I'm like, what is going on here? Look, I think the Dragons will be better for Zach Lomax moving on, just with how this whole saga's drawn out, with the money that they'll free up to sign other players. I think you can find someone of Zach Lomax quality for cheaper. This isn't even trying to be a blind on Zach Lomax. I think he's been excellent this year, but I think you can find someone of his quality on lower money and, build a battler team and then free up money to buy, spend on superstar positions. If it's going to be fullback, if it's going to be somewhere else, who knows? But yeah, I'd still, if I was the Dragons, I'd be looking for a player swap for something really good for this season. The Ryan Madison one is something that stands out. But yeah, Zach Lomax, regardless, good game, regardless of everything else. Thought he had a good game. 15 runs, which is a bit lower on what he's been doing this season, but still really good. 139 metres. He had a try, he had 3 conversions, he had a try assist, 3 tackle breaks, just really good stuff. We mentioned Moses Sully. He was fantastic in defence, thought he was excellent. Jack Bird, he went off in this game. He scored a try, but then only played 36 minutes. I can't even recall the injury. Was it a shoulder? It might have been a shoulder injury. I can't recall. Don't quote me on that one, but I thought he was good. Ravalawa, thought he was once again fantastic coming out of his own end. Didn't score a try, which I tipped him for, so that was a bit of a shame. But 19 runs, 177 metres, 96 kick return metres, 61 post-contact metres, 4 tackle breaks. Really good game from Ravalawa. I just thought, there's something here in this Dragon side. Let's go a little bit more in depth into Jaden Sewer. We've mentioned all the forwards, but Jaden Sewer, 80 minutes, 1 try, 170 metres, 18 runs, 54 post-contact, 1 line break, and 5 tackle breaks. Very unlucky to miss out on my team of the week. Again, you can blame yourself for that one, guys, because you guys voted on the poll. So if you thought he should have been in there, don't put it on me. But yeah, I thought he was excellent. Tom Eisenhuth, I'm loving how he's looking at lock. His work is going a lot, very unnoticed by a lot of people, I think, but he's putting in a lot of work. Jack DeBellin, once again, 56 minutes straight off the bench. I mentioned this in my Super Coach talk. Don't be alarmed when he's named off the bench. He's going to play big minutes. He's going to do well. Only scored me 53 points this week after bringing him in, so that was a bit of a shame. But yeah, really like the work he's doing from an NRL standpoint for the Dragons. So shout out Jack DeBellin. But yeah, Dragons, really good game, really good victory. As I said, there is something there. I can't quite put my finger on what's missing, but there's a good footy side in there. But we'll move on to the West Tigers, who didn't get the chockies in this one. But look, they're still playing hard. They're still trying. Aiden Caesar, I wouldn't say he had a poor game. There were a couple kicks, a couple decisions that didn't come off. But if they did come off, you're thinking he's a genius. A few kicks, like a chip and chase, which I don't mind the chip and chase option. The one that was quite poor was he put a kick in on the last when they're chasing points and it went not dead, but very much uncontested, caught by the Dragons, 7 tackle set. But I'm liking the effort that Caesar's playing with. I think they can win more games if he just keeps trying that and they come off. I think they will continue to come off sooner rather than later. But they were in this game. They kept battling right to the end. Dream Buller, I thought, was excellent. 212 metres from Buller. He was just trying everything, really involved, which is what you want to see from your fullback. And, we keep in mind, Buller's only in his second year of first grade, so he's still growing into that. But I thought he was really, really good. Staines had his best game of the season, in my opinion. Junior Tupou. Now, Tupou, he's been a bit of an enigma for me because a lot of people see a fantastic player in him, and I have not really seen the talent. I understand why he could be. He's a pretty big, strong, fast athlete. Like there's a very good mold to work with there, but I haven't seen enough of him in every game I've watched where I'm like, look, I genuinely just don't see what people are seeing. Now, in this game, I started to see that. I thought he was so good, so hard to handle. There was the run that he made where he stepped the winger, would have been Lomax or something, and then while doing that, just completely demolished Jack Bird in a run. It was reminiscent of Greg Inglis on Chris Sandow back in 2012, how he just bodied him and then just mid-body him, just looked to see what he was going to do next. It was crazy. And Jack Bird's a big bloke, a great defender, and Tupou just monstered him. So there's definitely signs in this one that I hadn't seen in previous games, but yeah, he could be a very good get if Wayne Bennett can bring the best out. Oh, Wayne Bennett's leaving the Dolphins, isn't he? Okay. Well, if Christian Wolf can get the best out of Junior Tupou, there definitely could be a really good player in him. Thought he was really good in this game. As I said, Caesar had his moments. He had a few blunders, but I still believe in Aiden Caesar. I think he's been really good this season. Stefano was exceptional in his first stint. Incredibly hard to handle. He scored a try. I've been critical of him playing starting for the Tigers, but in recent weeks he's completely made me look like an absolute idiot, which again he sort of did in this one. I think he's been really good since he's been starting, but his second stint didn't quite live up to expectations for me. So he finished the game with only 93 run meters and 9 runs. But he played 60 minutes. I want to see you having more runs of the ball than only 9. But he did score a nice try running really, really hard as well. So it wasn't a bad game for Stefano. I think it's just the expectations I have of him. He's can be one of the best front rowers in our league, and I really want him to be that. But yeah, it's still a decent game from Stefano. David Clemmer back up to 54 minutes in this one. I thought he was really, really good through the middle. Got charged twice for a couple. One was for a high tackle on Zach Lomax. The other was another high tackle, but I can't remember who it was on. Regardless, got charged twice. He should be looking to miss games. I don't think he is. From what I heard, whispers I heard is that he's actually not been suspended for those charges, but he should definitely. But I thought he was really good. His effort, his aggression in the middle was really good. One of his better games for the Tigers this season. I think he should still be playing around that 50-minute mark and getting through this sort of work. Beyond that, there weren't too many other ones for the Tigers. Fanua Pole he only played 27 minutes this game, which blew me away. Last week I thought he was their best player, and then 27 minutes this week. I'm like, what is going on? I thought Alex Twal was strong once again. Did he miss a tackle? Alex Twal. Oh, missed tackle check. Alex Twal missed a tackle. Get him off. Send him. Sack him. Get rid of him. But Asu Kapoa was the standout for the Tigers, in my opinion, off the bench. Got through 53 minutes. Scored a great try. 10 runs, 134 metres, 2 line breaks, 2 tackle breaks. He's a bloody good footballer, Asu Kapoa. I'm not sure how you fit him into this side, but it's evidence when he's on the field just in this game how the influence he can have. I thought he was fantastic. So, yeah, massive stuff for Asu Kapoa. He was named last week and didn't play, so I think this is technically his first game for the season for the Tigers in the NRL. So, yeah, massive stuff from Asu Kapoa. Tigers fans, look, definitely not your best performance. There's... against a club that also isn't in the best standings in the Dragons. So there's a lot to sort of, get better at, but I think they're still showing more fight and more heart than I have seen in previous years. So, I still believe in this Tigers team to get a few more wins throughout the season. Wasn't to be for them today in this one. I think when they have Lockie Galvin back, they will be much better for it. And that's not to say anything about Jaden Sullivan. I thought he was quite good in this one as well. But I think what Lachlan Galvin brings to that side is, fantastic. So once they get him back next week or this coming week, I think it'll be really good for them. Dragons fans, once again, really good win for you guys. As I said, I'm seeing the vision, so I really believe in you guys. But that will do us for that, and we will move into our final game of the round. Now, full disclosure, I spoiled this game for myself. I was at work, so I didn't get to watch this one live, but I turned off all socials, didn't know the result, got home, watched this one all the way to about the 76th, 77th minute. And I'm like, yep, Raiders have got it wrapped up. Titans are down by 10 with 4 minutes to go. So I loaded up Supercoach just to check what my Supercoach stats were for the game. And I saw that it went 21-20 for the Raiders. So obviously in that last 4 minutes, which I was still watching, don't get me wrong, I just spoiled the result. I watched every second of this game. But really gutting. 5 minutes to go. I'm like, yep, Raiders, they've got it wrapped up. Titans can't win. Then the Titans score 2 tries to level it up. Fantastic conversion from Brian Kelly from the sideline, which equals the game. Then it goes to Golden Point, and Jamal Fogarty wins in the 89th minute, just the last second of Golden Point. So I was really disappointed in myself for spoiling that result, because it would have been really exciting watching all of that Golden Point, not knowing who was going to win. The Raiders, they got away with the win. I tipped them. I expect them to win a lot better than they did. But once again, I'm so happy that the Titans competed the way that they did. I thought in terms of reffing, this one was poor, though. I'm not one to try and bag refs. I don't want to do it. I think a lot of people do it and they blame every result on reffing. Now, I don't think the result necessarily changes from the reffing. I think, both coaches came out and there's a lot of talks about the refs. Like there was the penalty count or the 6 again count towards the Titan or towards the Raiders was ridiculous. But then also watching it, I thought the Titans were laying in the ruck. And as Ricky Stewart said, there could have been 10 or 12 more that went against them. But look, I don't want to get too much into it, but I don't think the refereeing was particularly good in this one. As I said, I don't think it changes the result of the game as per se, but I just want us to be a little bit better in that refereeing department. But in terms of the game, really good game. Titans, I'm so disappointed for you guys. I feel so bad for you. Again, my second team in the NRL. But the effort you guys showed, the defense you guys showed, you worked so hard to get back into this. And to not only go to Golden Point, like I'd take a draw. Titans fans, you take a draw after everything that you've gone through, the way you played in Canberra against a team that you thought was going to swamp you. Take the draw, but no, Ethan Strange brilliance in the last minute, the last 30 seconds of the second part of Golden Point. And then Jamal Fogarty sinks a field goal off the back of it. It's so disheartening. I actually felt so bad. And I'm not even Titan supporter, but it's killer. But once again, once you have your time to lament on it and think about it after that and have your time to be disappointed and frustrated and whatever, look back at this and be like, look, the effort we showed was so good. The defense was so good. The game plan was good. The individuals that stood up, your AJ Brimsons, your etc., were good. there's a lot to build on from this. Against a flying Canberra Raiders side in Canberra, build from this. You guys played so well. And, yeah, you didn't get the result. It's really tough. But there's something there, and you can build from that. So we'll move on. You guys just move on to the next couple of weeks. Hopefully there's light at the end of the tunnel for you guys. But we'll go into, I guess, the standout performers in this one. Look, again, I don't know if there's too many standout performers in this one. I think it was a great, resilient, gritty effort in defence, which is the main thing I want to take away from my viewing of it. It was mainly a Titans effort as a team, but there were definitely standouts as well, so we'll get into them. Firstly, Lofiana Khan-Pereira to score those 2 tries. Fantastic work. You want a little bit more from Lofi. You know, he still needs to be doing some more runs, in my opinion, and working out of his own end, but he comes up with those plays. He comes up with those tries on the back of his speed. So you got to give him that. Thought he had a good game. Harley Smith-Shields, thought he got through so much work, returning against his old club, which is really good. Jojo Fafita, I thought he was really good, not only in his work, but his defensive efforts as well. I thought his reads in defense, his tackle technique, everything about Jojo Fafita I was really impressed with. He was the first man I penciled down for the Titans. So, you know, there's stuff there. AJ Brimson in the 5/8 role, where he belongs, in my opinion. I think this is going to have to be where this team goes from here. Jaden Campbell did go down with I believe it was a hamstring injury or a knee injury of some kind. If he's to miss more weeks, maybe you just move Brimson back to fullback and bring Tanner Boyd in. I don't hate that. But if Jaden Campbell's good to go, I think Brimson has to be in the halves from now on, just hands on the ball more. He looked so good there. There was a try that was called back to Lofi Khan-Pereira for an obstruction, but essentially the work that AJ Brimson did, the solo work, the lead-up work, that was all him, obstruction or not, like his effort to find that space, to beat the tackles, to burst through the line, to beat the fullback, to offload to Khan-Pereira, to score that try. It's just... yeah, you got to give massive shout-outs to AJ Brimson, and they just look so much better with him at 5/8. But as I said, the main reason they were good in this one came off the back of their defence. They were so resilient. So a lot of that has to go to their defence. And let's just read through tackles. Of course, this game almost went 90 minutes, so that's going to be a bit inflated because everybody made 1,000,000 tackles. Kieran Foran, 37 tackles. Mo Fotuaika, 36. Chris Randall, 61. Jam Manjola, 54. Dave Fafita, only 29 off the bench. Bo Fermor, 60. Cleese Haas, 41. Aaron Clark, 34. Like, that's ridiculous. That is so crazy. Chris Randall, let's go to him. He played the full 90 between hooker and second row, and he was exceptional. I think his defensive efforts for him, as we just said, 61 tackles from Chris Randall, but for him to be so adept defending in the middle and then to recognise the attacking structures of teams and defend just as well out on the edge, it's like unheralded. We need to give so much more appreciation to that than we do, because I think it's such a bloody good knock from Chris Randall. It's not hard it's hard to defend in general. Like, you can watch from afar, but if you're tough enough to be in the NRL and tough enough to get in front of these athletes that are they're just so incredibly athletic, to chop them down and to tackle them, it's no mean feat. To get in front of them at all, it's no mean feat. And then Chris Randall, he goes and does that in the middle, and then to learn completely new defensive structures as a second rower and defend just as good out there. Yeah, it's so good. And I know as a neutral viewer, I don't think people really give that much credibility to that. And if you haven't played footy before and you haven't put yourself in front of bigger blokes, it's not easy. Like, I'm a decently big dude myself. I've been a front rower my entire life. Tackling has been the biggest downfall. I've never been a great footy player. Let's get that out of the way. But tackling's always been my biggest issue, because there are some big blokes out there and you get a bit like in your own head, like, oh shit, I don't want to get in front of that bloke. So yeah, if you're playing in a row against the best athletes in the country and the best athletes, across Australia, Pacifica, etc., nations, to do it in two different positions, massive effort. So Chris Randall, you've got the biggest talk of any player on your team, so massive shout out to you. Beyond that, for the Titans, David Fifita, as I said, he came off the bench, missed about the first 20, just got out of the opening 20 grind and then played the rest of the game straight, somewhere around that. But he was exceptional once again. 18 runs, 190 metres. No one tackle break from David Fifita. So all of his efforts are just coming from hard work, which is something that we want to see. He's going to have those moments where he breaks 14 tackles a game, but it's these ones that work up and lead up into that, and that's the stuff you want to see from Fifita. I think from now on, I would be starting him just 80 minutes second row and let him do his thing. But look, it almost worked in this game, and he still came out and did a fantastic job. So massive shout out to Dave Fifita. Jamin Jolliffe, I thought he was good. He scored a try, which was very rewarding. One of their best players so far this season, someone who's been putting in 110% despite their results. So good to see him get a try. Shame they couldn't get the win for him and for everyone else. But yeah, Jamin Jolliffe, really good. Mo Fodawaker, I'm still very disappointed in Mo Fodawaker. He didn't have a really poor game. He's still 13 runs, 132 metres, but he's just having a few lapses in defence, some lapses in concentration, just errors. I want to see a lot more from Mo, and that's because I think he can be one of the best front rowers in our league. So still quite disappointed in Mo, and that's only from a place of love because I think, as I said, he can be one of the best. So want to see more from Mo. Beyond that, Kieran Foran, I thought he was good at halfback, controlled the game really well. Josiah Pahulu, I'm really liking him off the bench as well, just hard runs, only 18 minutes, but yeah, he runs so hard, he makes his minutes count. But that's sort of like everyone that stood out for the Titans. Again, really gutted for you guys, really upset. You deserved more, but such is the way of the footy. We'll move on to the Raiders, who, of course, won the game. Now, Chevy Stewart, their debutant at fullback, massive shout out to him. Did not look out of place. Really he took 22 runs for 205 metres, and he was running hard. It was multiple times he's running straight into Jamin Jolliffe and Isaac Liu. These are some big blokes, very veterans of the game, and he's just taken a kick and gone, bang, I'm going to run as hard as I can at you guys. Love to see that from Chevy. He looked very much a first grader, so shout out to him. No, fantastic attacking stats, no tries, no try assists, no tackle breaks even for Chevy, but it's the workload that you want to see, how he handles that physicality. And he handled it so well. So massive congratulations to Chevy Stewart for your debut. And yeah, keep that sort of stuff up. You're going to be a fantastic first grader, my friend. Beyond that, James Schiller scored a couple tries, 17 runs, 141 metres. He was good. Matt Timoko, 216 metres. Sebastian Chris, 163. Xavier Savage was so electric once again. He's been so good this season. I love him as a winger. He's that excitement that they need. But he, 22 runs for 222 metres, 94 post-contact, couple tackle breaks. Just, it's that hard work that I want to see from Xavier, and he's doing it. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. So I hope he can stay in their side for a long, long time and just, be a Raiders legend maybe at the end of it. I don't know. The future's there. The future's bright for Xavier Savage. Now, the man of the moment we have to talk about, Ethan Strange. He made my team of the week. I was very close to Munster. I was Munster the entire round until the final seconds of the final game of the round where Ethan Strange took over. He made that line break. At this point, both sides are like, look, there's 40 seconds left, I think it was. It's a draw. We're happy for the draw. It's over. The only person who didn't see that was Ethan Strange, and he made a line break. He stepped, put the pace on, line break down the sideline to get him into space, to get him into the Titans' half, and Jamal Fogarty did the rest. He slotted that field goal, and the Raiders win the game. But it's off the back of Ethan Strange, just off the back of this 19-year-old, this debutante's effort to just do that. This is a rookie. It's his first season of NRL, and he's like, he's played 90 minutes straight and he's still got that effort to do that. So yeah, Ethan Strange, congratulations. I think The Rookie of the Year race is going to be fantastic between... Oh, no, Lockie Galvin can't win it anymore because of the suspension, which I think is a stupid rule. But regardless, for the rest of the season, it's going to be so great seeing these two young 5'8" go up against each other. I love what they're bringing to their sides. So shout out Ethan Strange, my team of the week, 5'8". And, yeah, fantastic game for you. 11 runs, 128 metres. The line break that set up the game. He had a try assist and a line break assist as well. 5 tackle breaks. Doing some incredible things, Ethan Strange, so shout out him. Jamal Fogarty obviously kicked the field goal to win the game. What was his kicking meter? 694 for the game as well. 4 forced dropouts. Just incredible stuff. What he's doing for the Raiders this season is incredible. I think, again, it's going unnoticed in the wake of some of our superstar halfbacks. Players like Sean Johnson, players like Daly Cherry Evans, Jerome Hughes, like Nathan Cleary, Nicho Hines. There are some superstars in our game. But Jamal Fogarty, what he's doing is right up there with the best, and it's just going unnoticed because he's not a superstar player. But yeah, he's been exceptional, been one of the best halfbacks in the league this year, and I'd say he's top 3 halfback of the year so far this year. I'm not even joking. Jamal Fogarty, what he's doing this year, it's better than Hines, it's better than Cleary. Like, the only players maybe above him are players like Daly Cherry Evans, players like Sean Johnson. Maybe you could argue Jerome Hughes, but I think Jamal Fogarty's a top 3, at worst top 5 halfback in the NRL so far in 2024. He's doing some extraordinary things. As I said, those ridiculous kick meters, 4 forced dropouts, 96 kick run meters of his own. And yeah, he's 3 of 3 from the conversions, and of course hit the field goal to win the game. Just ice in the veins. Love that from Jamal Fogarty. I want to give him his dues. Beyond that, let's get to the other players in this side. Joseph Tarpany, 26 runs, 302 metres, 137 post-contact metres. 0 line breaks and only 2 tackle breaks. That is all from hard work. He was extraordinary. The best front row performance I've seen so far this season. And there have been some crackers, including the ones in this round. But yeah, what Joseph Tarpany was doing as I believe he's their captain, isn't he? Yeah, there was a moment where they tried to do a captain's challenge and they denied it. And then they're like, hang on, he's our captain. You can't deny it. And then they reversed it. Regardless, Joseph Tarpany, yeah, ridiculous what he's doing. He did this in 67 minutes too, which sure, for a normal game of footy, pretty high. But for a game that went for 90 minutes, he's got 302 metres in 67 minutes. Think of the 2 players, Chansukel Klukstad, who played 90 minutes and scored and ran for 346 or something, and Joseph Manu, who played 80 minutes and ran for 347 or 350, whatever it is. Tarpany ran for 302 in 67 minutes and from only 26 carries. That is ridiculous. So hang on, let's try and average that into how many meters that is per run. So 302 divided by 26, just under 12 meters a run. To get 10 meters a run is ridiculous. To be doing 12 meters a run, ridiculous stuff, yeah. Joseph Tarpany, fantastic game. Let's also note that he also made 32 tackles in this effort as well. So he was doing so much work out there and he was fantastic. Hudson Young, also another player who was very close to my team of the week in the second row department, played the full 90, scored a try, 21 runs, 158 metres. Yeah, had the line break, 4 tackle breaks, 33 tackles of his own. He was really good. Morgan Smithies was another player who really stood out to me. I think in the last few games, he's been so good. So I want to give him his dues. He also played the full 90, just crazy stuff when you got middle forwards playing 90 minutes. 16 runs, 160 metres, so dead on that 10 metres a run, which is fantastic stuff. And yeah, like no other notable attacking stats, which is, you know, what you expect from Morgan Smithies. But his efforts out there, his defence was exceptional. How'd he go in the defence department? 42 tackles, 0 missed in a 90-minute game. 0 misses in a 90-minute game. Like, what more can you say, really? Yeah, this Raiders side, there's something there. They can win in these ways. They can win in every sort of which way that's out there. So massive congratulations to them. They're flying so far this year. I'm so impressed with how they're playing their footy. I'm sure Coach Ricky is going to give them a blow, give them a rev up after this one as well. But I've just realised I said give them a blow up at them. Sorry, goddamn. Yeah, for getting it so close. But they came up right at the death, and you can't be happier as a coach. So, yeah, shout out the Raiders, shout out Raiders fans. I'm sure you're really happy with your season. But once again, massive congratulations and respect to the Titans. I thought you guys were exceptional, and yeah, really unlucky you couldn't get away with the win in this one, because you deserved it. You've played so well. But that one wraps us up for round six team of the week, round six review. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, I'll plug the Instagram. If you're not following me over on the Instagram, please do so. There's a lot more content that's going out there and a lot more stuff that I'm working on to keep making that just a more inclusive place, and just, a lot, just more content, more stuff, more footy stuff that I'm not going to talk about on these podcasts. So get over there. That's at Chip and Chase Podcast. Follow me on there. Message me on there. Get around the team of the week. Get around my other posts. If you're a super coach player, there's going to be some more super coach posts coming up, looking at some point of difference players. But once again, if you guys have made it this far into the podcast, I thank you guys sincerely from the bottom of my heart for listening and tuning in all these times. I'm trying my best, doing some hard work out here. Time management's not going well. I'm losing everything else, my social life regardless, but I'm working hard for this because I want to make it a reality. And if you guys are listening to this, I really thank you, because you're helping make that come true. So once again, massive thank you, and I'll catch you guys next time.